Hey guys, welcome back to Fire Emblem. We are on chapter 27, the Cog of Destiny. Wait for the opportunity and bring them down. That's the way, right, brother? And now the time has finally arrived. Lord Linus, they're drawing closer. At last, everyone scatter. The fight will be Lloyd's wig. Let none of them escape. Sir! I can see it. That's the Shrine of Seals. That's strange. We've made it so far without seeing a single soul. I'm afraid that's no longer the case. What? They're out for blood. Who could they be? You're Lord Eliwood of House Fury. And if I am? We are the Fang and we serve Mad Dog Biff Tannen. You will atone for your sins. It's the Black Fang. They're all Fangs. They're alive. Wait. What? What is it? They're battle lust. It's not normal. Get too close and they'll tear you apart. Why? Why do we have to fight? If we talk to them, they'll see. We are no longer Fangs. No, we served Nurgle. We were never Fangs. To them, we were never companions. Never. No, that's not true. That man mentioned Linus. Linus must be here. I need to talk to him. Linus will understand. Oh, Nino. Or Linus became a level 2 horse tent man. Alright, let's do it. Defeat enemy 43. Also, listen to the music. Enjoy it for right now because it's about to get super freaking annoying. And every chapter up until the final chapter has this same exact song and it makes you want to just chop your head off. Because of one specific instance. Yeah, Oswin. There's this Game Boy Advance thing that they just let this note ring out. And it's the most annoying thing. Here it comes. It's coming. Get ready. Shield your ears. Here it comes. Still going. Oh, it's not done. It's still going. You hear that high-pitched hissing noise? It's still ringing out. Doesn't it just get you riveting, ready for battle? There it goes. It's done. Except it's going to repeat in like 30 seconds or so. Anyway, by the way, this is post-commentary again. A lot of these next chapters are going to be. So, this first turn I left completely unedited, so you can see how long it takes me to make decisions on stuff. This is also like the biggest battle in the entire game, like the biggest map, the biggest amount of enemies, with maybe the exception of chapter 30. That one's pretty big too. But this one just takes forever. But after this first turn, when I finally move all my guys and get them into position, here comes that annoying song again. I'll try to like turn down the game sound even more than usual, so because it's super annoying. And I've found that you can interrupt it if you just so happen to get a level up the same time the note is just about to ring out. It'll override the note and kill it, similar to how like on the Super Nintendo, certain sound effects would block out the music. It has a similar effect, but that's like the only instance I found that could make that note just shut up. Oops, I just hit the desk that I am sitting on. Yes, I'm sitting on the desk, not in a chair. No. It's not even a desk, really. It's like a moving canvas, but yeah, I chop up all these moves because I spend way too long making decisions, and the map is... everything is already long enough. But this is also, I think you could bring the most units into this fight. So we got pretty much everybody I've been mostly using here. What is the deal here? What is my struggle with Will? Trying to figure out who to ballista. There we go, the Lance Reaver, that makes sense. Yeah, that's right, I'm sending Heath all the way to the left because there's a village over there. And, yeah, just basically dividing the team. I believe Lynn and Fiora take the top path and take out the horses up there. I leave Eliwood back here at the start because this is where Vaida appears. Oh yes, warping Lowen. Yeah, Lowen ends up being a beast. He goes right into that mob of guys and just one by one, awesome. That was a cut there because I spent 800 years trying to decide, oh, what spot to place him. It's like, just put him somewhere. He's got boots. I don't know, man. That past self nonsense. Equip the spear and you're good to go. I believe animations are off for this entire chapter except for when I actually go to fight the boss. Actually, it's individual. Like Guy and Matthew's animations are still active, and I think Fiora as well. And from here on out, it's gonna be like that, with a few exceptions of where I really am trying to speed stuff up. No, actually, they stay on the whole time, that's right. But I do add in animations for other characters, too. because there are some cool ones. But I am really mad at myself because there's some instances where leaving the animations on would have been really awesome and I never turned them back on. But what's funny is when I went back and replayed this, and I replayed all of Hector's story, again, not recording it. I'm not going to include Hector's story in this Let's Play, unless people really want to see it or something, but I don't know. I do want to move on to other things, like Majora's Mask Randomizer, the newest version, and the 2 Paper Mario games, Star Fox Adventures, Resident Evil. I made a post about it, so if you've seen that post, you should know. And there's a lot of games. It kind of really just depends on, like, what am I really excited about, and that's the one I'm going to do first. Although, we're finishing this up, and then probably, pretty guaranteed, is going to be Majora's Mask Randomizer. Because I know people like those things. But there you go, I left Eliwood behind, and now that was a full, very long turn. From here on out, it's going to be chop, 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 just like... My units are going to move kind of like the enemy phases. Slightly longer, of course. But I figured that was the best way to shorten this video. And not have to explain every idle second. But yeah, this is like Lloyd's chapter. It's unbelievable how many levels he gets right here. Because especially all these promoted guys, like that hero right there, the sniper. Actually, I don't think the sniper attacks him. I think he rides in the ballista. Where is he? I'm not paying attention. What level is he at? He's a level 8 paladin. Yeah, by the end of this, he's like almost... He's midway through there. Because remember, 20 is the cap. So he is well beyond Marcus's ability right now. But once again, I don't think Lloyd is actually a good paladin. Actually, one of you guys reminded me, because I kind of knew this already, but in one of the earlier videos, like really early in this series, people talk about this game and the other Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem. They're like the Paladin Fire Emblems, because the pre-promoted Paladin that you start the game with is actually really good and can carry the whole game. So in this case, Marcus. But as a general rule in Fire Emblem, you want to like not use the the reason that they're there is for your first time playing. Also, look at Fiora, man. She maxes out pretty soon. She might be my best unit overall. But yeah, the pre-promoted units that you start the game with, they're obviously really good, and they can carry a beginner's first time through. And you could be fine with them. But then the replay value here is to use all the other units, like the Cavaliers and stuff, and work them up. And what you end up finding is that with their growth stats and everything else, that they end up surpassing the pre-promoted units. That's the general rule. However, this game, I think because it is the introduction to the West, since this was all just exclusive to Japan and stuff prior to this game, I think they purposely made it easy, kind of like Mario the Lost Levels, how they refused to port that over here because Americans are stupid, or whatever. It's Murdoch, take the staff. Yeah, this is where we finally get the warp staff. I think this is the first time you get it. And the chapters here on out, I mean, it's nice. Remember, it only has 3 uses, maybe 5. I think it's 3, though. Oh, that note is so annoying. I can't, it just grates my ears. But, I think, I don't know. I just feel like the warp staff isn't really that useful in the upcoming chapters. I really think its best use is in that Sonia chapter. And once again, I think in Hector's story, you can maybe find a warp staff earlier than this, but I can't remember. Even though I did play it not too long ago. I mean, even that was still 2 months ago. I barreled right into it. I was like, this game is fun. You get addicted to it. And I wanted to see Hector's story again. And it is a lot harder. There's a lot more enemy units, and they're stronger, I think. Generally. 30 more to go. That's just moving Candace into position. What's next? Ah, yes. Will takes out who? That guy. That's right. I remember that was like another 30-second thing I had to cut out of the video. It's ridiculous how much time you can spend just toggling the cursor around the map. Once again, here, it was like idling on Urk, trying to figure, do I use Fimbulvetter or whatever it is, or bolting? And I think, yeah, I went with that thing. That's awesome. Too bad the animation was off for it. That's the thing, like, if I ever did replay this game, or play Hector's story or whatever, I would probably, number one, play it without cheats, and number two, leave the majority of the animations on the whole time and take my time with it. Because I feel like that's the fatal flaw here that kind of has ruined the series, in my opinion, and potentially some of yours, but it's still fun, though. Again, like, the whole purpose of this particular Let's Play was just to revisit the game and see it again. Particularly the Jafar Nino stuff, because I feel like that's this game's highlighting moment. But of course, we've still got to stop Nurgle. And that, being the ultimate goal of the game, is a giant moment in itself. Why did I warp Matthew up there? Let us see, shall we? What is he doing? Seriously, what is he doing? What am I doing with Eliwood? Oh, protecting Merlinus? Oh, another long decision. Taking out the ballista. I got you. Moving them all into place. Yeah, you'll see just how tough Linus is in this chapter. He's ridiculous. He has an item called the Iron Rune. R-U-N-E. I feel like that came out weird. It might be hard to understand. And what that does, it's kind of like the Delphi shield that Fiora has on her. That gives her an extra boost against arrows and stuff. But the Iron Rune that Linus has negates critical hits. So even somebody with Guy that goes in there with like an 80% chance of landing a critical, that 80% chance instantly becomes 0, making Linus very difficult to beat. Plus he's sitting on a throne, which boosts his defense, I think. So yeah, and I believe if you got Linus's map earlier, Lloyd would have that thing too. Either way, this chapter, the guy's really tough. Whether it's Lloyd or Linus. The White Wolf or the Mad Dog Biff Tannen. Mad Dog. What a nickname. Hey, I don't know where he's at right now. The best lance in this game is called the Rex Hosta. It's an S-rank thing. But it's not like a spear. It doesn't double as a ranged weapon, so in a way the spear still ends up being better, even if the Rex Hosta can do a ridiculous amount of damage in that one range distance, that one tile space distance. All's win with the critical. You gotta get excited about these little chess pieces, man, otherwise it's just boring. Yeah, there's so many reinforcements this chapter, too. Like, I don't know, watching this again, it kind of makes me wonder, how long did this take without cheats? And how many times did I fail? As in, somebody died and I turned off the console and started again. Because every time I play Fire Emblem, if anybody dies, I start over. Even though units don't really matter if it's not your main lord, since they're the ones that actually trigger a game over. I don't know, it's just, you don't ever want your units to die, even if it's somebody you never really use. And that's such a pain. I don't know, like I said a couple times now, there's stuff about Fire Emblem that is a little frustrating. But I suppose it's the story, right? The story is the selling point. There she is! Prince Zephiel insists it was they who saved him. Pah! What is this world coming to? So she's the top one. You gotta talk to her with your main lord. And let's see what happens. You. So we meet again, boy. Are your little playmates doing well? You're that wyvern rider. You're working for the Black Fang. You're wrong there. I serve only Burn. I'm here on my own personal agenda. Tell me, boy. Are you the one who stopped Prince Zephiel's assassin? What? How did you? So it is true. That settles it. From now on, I'm traveling with you. You saved Prince Zephiel, so I owe you. But why? I told you I serve Burn. Prince Zephiel is our future, our hope. Then look for me, I'll be joining you shortly. You just joined me. She has her spear, however, it does not boost her stats. It's just a normal spear in this chapter. Because remember, the story idea in that previous chapter where she was a boss character, she was being protected by Nurgle's magic, and that's the story excuse as to why her stats were boosted. But in programming standpoint, it's just that particular spear is a special spear that does all that stat boosting. And once again, with a code, you can glitch that particular spear into anybody's inventory. But it's unobtainable through normal means of the game. Which is kind of neat. Man, that note, shut it up! God, it's so irritating. Sorry, I just can't stand it. That's one thing. The Game Boy Advance had a lot of good games on it, but the sound quality is not the best. And I believe some games, like Metroid Fusion, I know, gives you an option of stereo sound or headphones, and I believe switching to headphones actually reduces some of that GBA hiss. But I can't really remember, and I know in my Let's Play of Metroid Fusion I didn't even do that, but I thought about it while I was editing those videos. I was like, why didn't I just pick headphones and work with that sound instead? It probably would have made the sound a lot better. So that's why, like, in these videos, if it ever sounds like I'm talking really loud compared to the game or something, it's because it just sounds really strange, and when I go to edit the volume and stuff, I can't seem to get an appropriate balance between my commentary and the game audio. And it's just because of the way that the Game Boy Advance audio works. It's just very strange. But see, hold on. See, the hiss note went away. It still would normally be going, but that level up overrides it, which is fantastic. I wish, like, you could just, like, pull up the pause menu and make it stop. But yeah, for as amazing as the music is in this game, in so many instances, there's so many great music tracks in this game, I don't know why this final player theme for the last 3 or 4 chapters of this game it's just so bad. Like, this part's okay, I like this part. But, when it gets to that note that just rings out, I don't know. Anyway, back to the gameplay. Looks like Heath is taking out the archers. I believe I take on Linus with Guy, Matthew, and Lowen. It's like a 3-man effort to make it work. You know, Guy hasn't really been doing that well. Well, I say that, and there's the critical. He's got a 56% chance of a critical, you see that? That's ridiculous. Makes you wonder why it doesn't happen all the time. Well, I mean, that is only slightly more than half, but 10 enemies left. This is going a lot faster than normally. Like, I think this is one of those chapters that can take like an hour and a half to beat normally. Especially if you spend a lot of time, like, plotting your next move. And what's so bad about these games is you could spend that long plotting your move and just miss one particular detail, like a wyvern rider has just enough range to come in and kill a thief or something. Yeah, that critical hit. Yeah, next thing you know, like, Matthew's dead and you get the tragic song and you have to turn off the console. All because in your 40 minutes debating your move, you missed that one detail. And then your unit dies. It's so frustrating. But it's also part of the fun, I suppose. Win. Oh yes, I'm putting everybody on the forts so that the reinforcements do not spawn. And then we got this corner here. What did I ultimately decide to do with Urk? Take him out, alright. Who takes out the paladin? Let us watch and see. It's exciting. Yeah, I don't know if it's really that exciting. Ah, here we go. Lowen's moving in for the kill here. Taking out the minions first. Let's do it. It's funny that the AI attacks you knowing that they're gonna die in one hit. I mean, I guess that's what they're supposed to do. Oh yeah, this is ridiculous. The Poison Lance actually affects Eliwood there, so he's gonna start taking damage at the start of every player phase. It's very minimal, but it does add up. I think it actually increases each turn until it wears off. I think. I could be wrong on that. But this is good, though. You'll see. I think with this kill... No, it's the next one, but he's gonna hit level 20, his max, which is great because right after this chapter is when he promotes. Like, you have no control over it. It's a story-driven event. He promotes and classes up. So it's like perfect timing. Oh yeah, they just keep coming too. That's another reason that makes this chapter hard. It's like you slowly work your way to the middle of the map, and then from behind where you started, they're chasing after you. So you gotta move as a squad and just never stop and just hope that you're safe the whole time. Because as you notice, this map is littered with promoted units. Heroes, paladins. I think there was a general, wasn't there? Yeah, there was. There it is, level 20. And it was a crap level, but that's a really good Eliwood. Like, he never gets that good. And of course, it's just going to continue to grow because even though he's capped out now, once he classes up, he's right back to level 1. Bringing in Vaida, apparently, to assist him, because... what are we doing with Sarah here? Oh, okay, we're healing Eliwood. That's good, I suppose. It's just a mad cluster up here. Yeah, like, see, this bothers me. I never turned on Lynn's animation when she promoted, so you've never seen her animation, and you never will. I'm gonna tell you right now, the rest of the videos of the series, I never turn on Lynn's animation. Which is really stupid. Especially the final chapter. Like, the final chapter, I should have immediately turned on all animations and just said, screw it, this is the final moment. Even though it is a very long chapter. But I never did. I kept it on individual, and... yeah, it's not good. There's that note again. And there's no cut coming up. Well, crap. Who takes out the general? General Pepper! I don't know why I always think of that now. From Star Fox Assault. Star Fox Assault. I still say that's better than Adventures. But I do need to play Adventures at some point. Nice. That's a cool spell, but the other one is cooler. That Excalibur spell that's been sitting in the tent this whole time. That's another option too. Like, to replay this game with cheats but not be this excessive with it, I would maybe use a cheat that makes everybody S rank in their weapons. The problem with that is, I think it's all weapons are S rank for every unit. So, like, Urk could be S rank and swords, which is impossible because a mage is not supposed to ever be able to wield a sword. At least I know that's how that code in particular works with Path of Radiance. I don't know if that's the case with this game. But a lot of these RPG inventory codes, they're such a pain in the neck. Was it you? You're the one who killed my brother! Nah, I don't think it was Will, it was Eliwood. But, yeah, because any game that has a lot of items for inventory, each one has a hexadecimal code that points to it when you're using like a Game Shark or whatever. And anytime you look up codes, there's like a general inventory slot that also has a specific last 2 digits that dictate what spot it is, and then to put the item in there, when you look up the code, it always ends in XX, and then you have to replace the XX value with whatever the value of the item is, so it takes like a very long time to write a code. There you go, see, 0% critical hit chance. And he actually did a nice blow on Guy there, too. But I think, yeah, Lloyd here, I think really does do a lot of damage on him. Yeah, 13 times 2. Lloyd's the way to go. Which, I think I was talking about Lloyd way earlier in this video. I do believe a lot of people say that Sane is the best Cavalier if you're going to promote any of them. Because his strength, his growth percentages in strength and basically offensive things. Oh, the whiff. But he levels up. Where is Matthew at this point? Late. I don't know what happens here. Does he even bother to attack? He's got to, right? It's not even defeat Linus, though. It's defeat all enemies is the clear condition. Dart is doing pretty good, too. But yeah, he's one of those units. Wow, wait, he might be S rank, I don't know. And then here, Eliwood doesn't get experience because he's capped out right now. But it's alright. But yeah, That's proof that Eliwood is not that good. It takes that many strikes to kill a wyvern. Of course, he was using a sword, but still. And there it is, Matthew gets the honors. I've lost, at least I can see my brother again. Yeah, it's kind of sad, because Lloyd and Linus aren't really bad. Neither is Brendan Reed. There it is, the Iron Root. Now you can give it to somebody to negate enemy critical hits. Brother. Why? Why did it have to come to this? I don't understand. Poor Nino. Lord Athos, when did you arrive? Just now, I warped in, you know. I was just... Oh, my scrying. I thought he was like, I'm scratching my crystal. What would that have proven? You cannot hope to succeed if you cannot trust your own strength. Your own power must drive you. That is the most important thing. Now then, shall we go underground where Bramamond awaits? Bramamond? One of the 8 generals? That's right. Only Bramamond and myself remain. Legendary item? That's right, it's a weapon that was on the title screen. A weapon to defeat Nurgle. No way. They are sealed away, and only Bramamond can break the seal to give the weapon to the legendary heroes. Of course, that's how all these things are. It's so dark, it's creepy, can't see a thing. Shh, someone's here. You're Bramamond. Yes, I suppose that is me. What do you want of me, you who will live above ground? We need something to defeat Nurgle. That's unfortunate, for I cannot grant that which you seek. What do you mean? The entire world is on the brink of destruction as it is. The entire world? Why would I care about that? The whole world can burn for all I care. By Father Sky, your voice, the way you talk, it keeps changing. Bramamond has no self. He, she, it. It is a mirror that reflects the person addressing it. It projects no personality of its own. There are as many Bramamonds as there are people facing him. Do you remember me? Athos. It's been many ages. I cannot fathom why you were brought these people here. Why I sealed everything away. Do you forget why? The legendary items are not meant for human hands. Bramamond, remember, we too are human. What? Seduced by power? You observed them, did you not? It's true, they seem better, stronger than most humans. I guarantee there is none. We simply ask that you believe in us. Once there was a man such like you. His gaze never wandered, it was ever fixed straight ahead. The seals have been released. You may now do as you please. I'm tired, you will let me rest. Well, that didn't take much. Sometimes it's all in how you look somebody in the eye, I guess. Ah, it's good to breathe the outside air again. That was strange. Strange dude. Interesting that, I believe it was a darkness, a completely impenetrable darkness, the nature of which is beyond the comprehension of normal men. You must hurry, the seals have been broken. Nurgle has surely already sensed this. You must get to the blazing blade. How unfortunate, you're too late. How did you get in here? Nurgle. At last my power is restored. Come, Ninian, Nils, this way. Open the dragon's gate for me. No! It was a very dumb no. You mustn't go, neither of you! Would you like to see my powers here and now? You may choose, Ninian. Obey me, or... If I go with you, will you let my brother go? Ninian? One of you should prove sufficient, as you wish. No, Ninian, why? Look after Lord Eliwood. Things are happening! As they do. Ninian, you must not! The gate will open and I will gain unlimited power. Don't move, Nurgle! No, get down, both of you! What is this foolishness that's going on here? And Nurgle exploded. End of game. Are you awake, Eliwood? Where? Camp. You and Nils were both knocked unconscious by Nurgle's parting gift, do you remember? If Lord Aesyl's hadn't erected a barrier, we would have lost both of you. If he truly wished to kill you, he probably would have. You cannot wield it. None of us can. The power to topple Nurgle lies within that weapon that we need to find. You must go to Ostia and take possession of Roland's blade, but before you go, take this Eliwood. It's a heaven seal. I'm sorry, Lord Athos, these seals, they don't like me. Something's happening! For the first time, Eliwood's becoming a man. Except his animation gets dumber, I think. I liked him more on 2 feet. Now he gets a horse! It's kind of cool. I like the sprite, but the actual animation isn't as cool as... And he could use lances now. I don't know why you would give that to Eliwood. It's going to do like 2 damage. Lord Athos! As I thought, you're now a man. I'm overflowing with power. Look at my muscles. We have to go get that weapon. And save Ninian. Ah, yes, and that is exactly what this next chapter is. A mountain cave on the outskirts of Ostia. Here a sacred weapon lies. The seal is broken, but you must pass a trial in order to pick it up. Because magic stuff and legendary things. So that'll be next time. See you then.